want to know if you are a people pleaser and you externality. So you definitely have to stay or welcome to Reawaken Your Light. I am Elise A. Wiggins, and on this channel, we support moms and caregivers who are experiencing burnout. I am live Monday, make is where I just where you are a caregiver that you may be experiencing, kind of share a little bit. And also, if you are the one in your family taking a different path. So, um, 2 weeks ago, I believe it was on the 8th, I did a video on, are you the one in your family that's taking a different path? Gave 3 tips. So if you are taking a different path, I suggest you tune in and watch that video. But last week, Monday, I delved a little bit deeper into one of the tips from the 8th, and that was on the 14th. And I talked about, overcoming being embarrassed and making mistakes. And if you are the one that's on a different path, that's something you are going to have to kind of like get over, is being embarrassed and making mistakes. But specifically today, I wanted to talk to you about seeking external validation. If you are going to take a different path than everyone else, you are going to have to get to the point where you're no longer looking for someone else's approval. Now, before we get started in today's video, I just want to thank everyone who participated in our virtual Freedom Friday. We host those once a month, every third Friday of the month. And those are virtually, and it's not for moms and caregivers. It could be anyone who is experiencing burnout. You can come on, feel heard, feel supported. And yeah, so thank you for everyone who participated. This week, this month's the theme was who's helping the helpers. And then on Saturday, thank you to all of the volunteers, the seniors and the young adults who helped me facilitate the book club and brunch for moms and children at the Inglewood Library. We also host that once a month, every third Saturday until December at the Inglewood Library. And particularly this week, the moms were talking about either being in school or going back to school. We had everyone in the room, anywhere from no GED to master's degree. So moms and caregivers, if you want to come out and be supported and get some resources and some opportunities to help you go back to school, we'll be hosting that again on Saturday, September 16th from 1:30 to 4. So we hope to see you then. So let's get into today's video. So what I wanted to start doing, I wanted to give an excerpt from my book, A Farewell to Welfare, because I did talk about this like back in 2015. And just so you guys could get an idea, I still use like the old first copy of my book, right? It's written in, it's everything, it's mine. So here we are. Although I'm looked upon as a strong woman, it was extremely challenging for me to deal with the constant criticism from both my family and close friends, both in my face and behind my back. While I was doing my best to care for 2 children alone on public assistance. You know what I'm talking about. Soon, other people's opinion of me became just that, other people's opinion, not a fact, and certainly not my reality. I refused to focus on their criticism, let it get me down or define me. Instead of focusing on being perfect, I focused on the thought of knowing that one day I would be able to generously provide for my children on my own. In fact, I realized the more goals I achieved, the more confident I became. Likewise, you will develop this ability too. So that's just right at the end of the first section of my book, and I'm talking about how there was a time in my life. So make it happen Mondays. Let's just get personal with it, right? Um, back then, I believe this was right before I released this book, I had my contraceptive removed. So ladies, I was on, I think it was the IUD, and I don't remember which brand, but at the time I didn't know. Hold on, somebody's calling me. At the time, I it just felt like it was all aliens in my body. Excuse me. Being depressed, like different contraceptives were doing different things to me, birth control. So for example, some of them was making my hair fall out, some of them was doing something to my skin. And at this particular time, I just kind of always felt depressed, and I knew it had something to do with the birth control I was on. So I had the IUD removed. I did not know at the time that once I removed the IUD, my body would have a hormonal imbalance because my body wasn't producing this hormone in 5 years. So now to just take the IUD out, it was like, okay, my body wasn't used to producing it, and now this foreign object is no longer producing it. And I'm grateful for this. At the time, I had bought my daughter an American Doll, and I bought her the book that came along with it that taught you about your body. And one day she walked up to me and she was like, Mommy, my book says that you're not supposed to have your period for more than 7 days. And you have your period for almost like 20 days now. We live together. And I believe at the time she was like 6 or 7. I don't know exactly her age. And she was right. What had happened was when, like I said, I had this hormonal imbalance, and my body just, I guess, freaked out. I was bleeding every day. I was losing weight. I was getting really skinny. At the time, there were rumors that I was a crackhead. Oh gosh, YouTube, Jesus. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because this situation just came up this past weekend, right? And all I could think to myself is, if they really knew what was going on with me, like I made a decision that I could not be here today. I didn't know removing the IUD was going to have that profound of an impact on my body. You're on the outside looking in, and that's why you got to be careful when people lose weight. Like, oh, you look too skinny, so you think. Stop making assumptions. Stop being in other people's business. Back to today's topic. People are going to talk about you, whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad. So over the weekend, one of the moms, she kept, I'm a chronic people pleaser. And it just led me to understand that when you're constantly seeking other people's approval or attention and they don't give it to you, it's like, oh my God, why are you not happy about my decisions? Why are you new? Everybody is not going to be happy. Everybody is not going to care. Even when you're doing the thing you're supposed to do. This and you, someone in your family who chose a different path, we suggest you go back and you watch that video again. But here today, I'm telling you, seeking external validation, trying to please other people and meet up with their expectations is only going to cause you anxiety. You're going to be depressed. You're going to have an absence of peace. Now, what I can say is, once you first start doing things and it doesn't look good or it doesn't work out, don't give up. Like, critique yourself, improve yourself, but keep going. But if you're waiting for somebody to say to you, oh, that you're doing a good job, you should keep doing that, or you should do this, you should do that, stop. Or don't do mistakes. Do this. It happen Monday. I'm grateful that we were sponsored. Saturday's event was sponsored by Starbucks of Inglewood. We had empanada, coaches going to certificate to say thanks your support. What am I doing? Because today is Monday. Back to the and seeking external validation. And if you need some help saying, you know what, I want to stop looking to people for approval. uncertain. I'm going with the external validation. Talk to me about, leave that comment below. So I'll be back again next week, Monday, for Make It Happen Monday. If you're a mama caregiver in the workplace, I'll be live on LinkedIn for Workplace Wednesdays. Last week, Wednesday, we discussed do you get off of work and go home and work? So that's where I support moms and caregivers in the workforce. And just, yeah, stay connected with me. Let me know what content you need to hear, you want to hear from me, what questions you have. I'm here to support you. This is Elise A. Wiggins. As always, don't wait for a leader, become one.